All right, let's keep going here.
Here's your host, Brian D.
Okay, it's Friday. Let's get going. All right, let's take down the music and let's pour a beer. All right, I've got to get a more sophisticated way of doing that. I was trying to actually build another tool, another audio tool with Claude, but I did it like 30 minutes ago, so I didn't have time to finish it. I also noticed my camera flickers a lot, and it's been doing that, and I think the last video it did it. I think it's my cable. I think I need a better cable. It is kind of like it's like an 8-foot cable, so it might be too long, or might just, I don't know, but it's like there's a flickering, and it only happens with the camera. So anyway, we've got fridge filler. I already popped it open. I kind of jumped the gun. I was mindlessly reaching for that when I meant to open my seltzer here, so let's get this thing poured. So today what I want to do is something a little different. Look at that. This beer is so good. Just double checking that I'm not still muted. Today I'm going to try and do something a little different. I'm going to try and go through a workflow live on stream. And because I've been trying to get the thalassa, which is the ship. It's giving me a lot of problems. Like there's some very specific parts of it that need to be a very certain way, and AI's inconsistencies kind of screwing me over on stuff like that. Let me get the background music playing here. Okay. Hold on 1 second here. Let me just see if I can. Hold on. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna finish pouring this beer. Sorry about that. Just trying to get a window open here, and I've got so many windows open, it's hard to find things. So I've been having trouble with the thalassa, getting the models, and I'm kind of like stuck right now because I've run out of credits. Like the credits just go so fast, and so what I think I'm gonna do is buy a day of unlimited credits, and basically just try and get through, well, at least this, like I've got this opening I want to do, but I want to try and get like a bunch of shots lined up and just see how far I can get, how many shots I can get through. Just like literally having things queued up. The thing is I have unlimited generations of 720, but it's only one at a time. And these generations take, I mean, I don't know, I think they take like, I was going to time one and I forgot to do it. I want to say maybe around 5 minutes, maybe a little more. But I'm just trying to figure out like how many, like I would just literally have to sit there and stay up late and get up early to take full advantage of the 24 hours and just be, you know, rerun, render, and just get as many as I possibly can done. And I just want to see like how much I can get through with that approach. But in order to do that, I need to get some frames done, and this beginning part's been kind of giving me some problems. So one of the things I've been trying is building models and trying to use the models to guide the AI images and stuff. So I think I'm going to walk through that process today in this live stream, just because it's kind of what I've been trying to figure out. So anyway, cheers. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's we'll take a look at some of the generations I did, because they're like, some of them are kind of cool, but they're not. Again, it's very difficult to get what you want. And again, this is why I'm thinking roughing these things out in Unreal and bringing those videos in to kind of guide the model. So let me just let me hop over here with my camera. Okay, all right, I've lost my window again. So disorganized. Oh my God. There it is. There we are. Okay. All right, so here's my image generations. Well, this is actually all my generations. So you can see what I've been trying to do here is get the, I've got the sub. Like, I've got a final sub that I like. This is essentially it. It's a little tanky. This thing would never work in real life. Not even a chance of it being a realistic design. I don't care. I think it kind of looks cool. I think it's going to work. So this is the sub. Now I'm trying to get the boat. Now, like, this looks great, but this back doesn't work. And this is the thing, like, do I really care? Like, I don't know, like, maybe I don't care. But the problem is this back has to be open, because this thing has to be able to go out over the back. Now, there is a shot where I love to have it pulling the thing onto the deck. That's kind of what I have planned for this beginning. But if this back doesn't work, I don't know how that video is going to work. So the part, let me see if I can find one that works here. So yeah, so okay, this crane is wrong, but this is more like what the back needs to be. So it needs to be this kind of layout on the back. And it just like doesn't want to do this. And getting the crane right, I've like had to like try and isolate the crane and bring it in as its own reference element to generate the ship. And like, this looks not bad. Like, I've got a bunch that look not bad, but like, I don't know what this weird thing is. There's just some, like, it's just kind of not quite there, you know? Like, I get things that, like, this image here looks not bad, although I would really want this to be facing the other way. There's a patch in the back. I want the hatch to be in the back. And I want this thing to be a bit further this way. It should be kind of back here. Again, it's like all these little things, like if the stuff isn't staged right, then it makes it difficult to get the video generations right. Although for this beginning part, it's only a couple shots up here on this back deck. So I don't know how much time I want to spend on it, but there are going to be shots later on. And really where this is going to come into play is on the interior of the sub. I have a feeling that's going to be very challenging, because we're going to be inside this tight space where we will be seeing the same parts of it. And if it looks wrong, you're going to know. If it changes from shot to shot, you're going to know, because things are going to be just there all the time in such close proximity. He'll always have like the same parts of the interior next to him. So when the camera cuts, if the background completely changes, it's going to feel very strange. So I may have to like, it could just be generating those images, but like just have the thing like generate a front and side view, and just kind of use those as my lock offs. But I don't know. I guess a lot of this I'm still figuring out, but I'll just go through this workflow, because this is an interesting workflow, and I have had some luck with it. So essentially, like, let's say you get, like, I wanted to build this crane, because what I wanted to do, it wasn't getting the scale of the crane right. It was making it way too small. So what I decided to do was bring the ship, model the ship, model the crane, bring them both into Unreal, put it together the way it should be, then bring that as like a gray render back as a reference file. So that's kind of the workflow I'm going to go over. But I'll just show you some of the, like, basically should I play the video? It's like, I don't know if I should play the video. Is that fan noise hitting the mic? I don't know. Like, I've got the intro, which I think is working really well. but it's like a block out phase, which I don't know if it's worth anybody else watching. I guess I won't play it. But basically, we're gonna have the newscast at the beginning, and then that's gonna kind of dip down, and then it's gonna dip into the beginning, and we're gonna get a couple title cards. Then we're gonna get the what did you see? I might change the name because it's an old holdover name from when I first started this. I might change it. Anyway, you get the title card, and then we cut to the ocean, and we're flying over the ocean, and then we slowly tilt up, and we see the Thalassa on the horizon. So I'll show you some of those generations that I've done. Like some of them, like this one's way too fast. Like way too fast. You know, it does have the thing come up, which is cool. But I was trying to do, like, that looks great, right? I was trying to do way too much in 15 seconds. So, but this one's kind of rocking too much. And again, it's moving way too fast. And this looks all wrong. I don't know why this looks so different. Like I gave it the references and stuff. For some reason, sometimes it just does whatever it wants to. So here's another one. Again, like just completely disregarded what I told it to do. Like I don't know what that side crane is, but. And I don't know why it's got this opening here. I got to check my references from the last and make sure that's not there. And again, we'd have to see like Bill inside there. Anyway, just these aren't what I'm going to be using. I'm just kind of showing. This one I forgot to it didn't include the references or something for some reason, and so I just got crashing waves. So here's AI waves. Kind of cool. Looks like it'd be a nice ride on there. And we've got this one, which is kind of neat. The other thing I was having a problem with was the white water was going away. Like I like it; it looks great, but then it disappears. Like this is more the shot of what I'm going for, like this, right? We see the water and we come up. Like I would want this to keep going the whole time, but it disappears. So this is basically the shot it's going to be. And then we're going to cut into the Thalassa, and we're going to see the sub coming up out of the water. Like this is a cool shot, except I don't like this vignette. It looks like a periscope or something. So, anyway, trying to get back to this 3D thing. So basically, what I'm going to try and walk through is something I'm playing with where you can come, like if you do 3D stuff, what I want to be able to do is take those skills and combine them. So, and I think that, ultimately that's really what I would love to do is just have this stuff a little more integrated. And I know it's happening, and I know there's some tools out there that are doing this. They're just like, right now the tools and the models and everything's kind of off in its own, everything is like just fragmented right now. And so things aren't really working together very well. So I'm trying to figure out my own way to get them to work together. So to finally get into what I'm trying to show you here is, let's say I want to just start blocking things out and I want a 3D model of this to be able to set up cameras or stuff. But I don't want to model the ship because I don't know how to model the ship. If I did, I would have, this is one of the problems I had when I wanted to do this in Unreal. It's like, I had to find a modeled ship. Well, that's not a problem now because we can get these views here, right? So let's say we get our side and top view or side and front view, whatever it is we want. You basically want to make a style sheet like you would for a character. This is an old version with a different crane. Which if I went with this kind of crane, I wouldn't need the open back. So what we need, I thought I had one down here. What we need is a front and back view. I've kind of already done this. So you can see I've been making them here. So this one's cut off. You know what? I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We'll kind of like skip a few parts. So, all right, let's say we get the style sheet that we want, right? Now what I'm going to do is I just want to open up. Hold on one second. Okay, so now we're going to hop into Tencent here. It's Hunyan Tencent. It's a 3D AI 3D model builder. Drop in an image and it can generate a model. Now you can do a single image or you can do multiple views. So this is the advantage. If you do the multiple views, you'll get like a little bit more accuracy. This has 25 free generations per day or something, or 20 free. So I've got like 17 left today, so I haven't really used it. But so this is a good one because it's basically free. So what you're going to do is you're going to load up your various different models here. So I am going to look for, so basically I've got, let me just bring this over. So I've got, I'm just looking for, I do have this done. Yeah, so we'll do like, I think this was the latest one I did. So front 3. So we want to bring in the front view. Oops. So we'll do the front. I think I had the side. And then we did, what was the other one? The top? Top. Okay. So you generate your 3 views, right? Using, and basically you just do that with Higgsfield. You just say, like, let's pretend we're doing this now. So I've got, this is my reference. I generated this image. I'm like, okay, this looks good. I like this, except for this gets too narrow. And I don't know why I added this in. So this was a prompt that I had for this. I don't know why this is included as a reference, but interesting. Okay, so let's just generate it just for the heck of it. And this is why, I have unlimited Nano Banana Pro. This is why I'm saying like image generation, having it unlimited is crucial, because you just will be generating tons and tons and tons and tons. I've generated hundreds of images. Here we've got my happy hour thumbnail. This is what I love. Like every once in a while, it just completely ignores you. And I don't know what this even is. It just made its own version of everything. And it made the door red because I tried to circle the door where I wanted him coming out of. And it thought that that meant to highlight the door in red. So we're just going to generate this thing. I'll just show you how, roughly how long it takes. And I guess I should go through the prompt as well. So I've got my basic prompt for the thalassa, which is just describing it. Trying to like make sure it adheres to certain things that I need it. I really want it to do. And then this is kind of the prompt. I want a broadside profile, a 3/4, 3/4 stern. This is basically telling it the views that I want. Now this is for something slightly different that I was doing. So this is another one. So basically this is just a much simpler prompt. Actually, this was the type of thing I was looking for. So this was the image that I liked. Like this feels roughly okay. This is still too big, but like, this feels close. And what I wanted to try and do is like make these changes in 3D rather than say, hey, can you make the sub a little smaller or make the crane a little bigger? Just like get this thing made and make the changes in 3D, then bring that back in to specifically be able to show it what I want. So basically, I took that image that I liked. I said, create a style sheet for the ship, front, side, and top view, over gray background, realistic 3D render, model sheet, accurate proportions, and consistency through every view. So I'll just launch this one as well. The thing about these unlimited renders is you do kind of, I think, get put on the slow queue. So you may be waiting 3, 4, 5 minutes for these. So it's best to just kind of like, just, I can have up to 4 going at a time. So I just like crank off, 4. Every time I do one generation, I just hit it 4 times. And, I can be working on something else. It's a little tedious. This is why I have 2 accounts and I hop back and forth between the different accounts. So I can be doing like 2 sets of images. I can be working on like the ship, and then on the other one, maybe I'm working on the sub, or maybe I'm working on stills or something. Because it does kind of, unfortunately, take a while. But I'm just gonna sit here and wait, because I'll show you the actual process and how long this takes. Okay, here we get the one that we just did before. Now this isn't really. This was more for like, what I was trying to do is generate one of these. Where is it? Like an element, and give it some more detailed. You can see like there's a boat here, and then it's a different sub. It's like not listening to me, and this thing again is like way too far back. This thing really should be right here at the very back, at the end, not here, because it can't, like, this needs to be able to drop into the water. So these are the types of things I'm trying to fix in 3D. So this is a bad generation, but this isn't going to work for what I wanted anyway. This one here is going to be more what we want. I don't think I'm going to have time to do this before I finish my beer. So we may have to well, yeah, we should. I'll drink this instead. So I'll show you like a finished version of what I did. I may have showed this before in a stream, but I basically took this technique and the chart room scene which I've already done. I basically generated a still frame of that, and then I had Nano Banana pick out various different parts of that room and say, create me the same thing, create a style sheet of front view and side view of just different parts of the room, right? Like there's a rack of maps that are hanging on the wall. I said, generate this map rack. I said, generate like the bulkhead door. Excuse me. Make me the bulkhead door, like just a single frame, isolated. And then I brought those in and generated models of them all. And then I modeled that whole room in Unreal. Well, didn't model, but I assembled all those AI models. I assembled them into a model in Unreal. So I'll show you that while we're waiting for this. Oh, it's done. Okay. So here we go. So here's our top view, side view, front view. So essentially what you're going to do is bring this into Photoshop and then just crop these and create separate images out of each one of them. That's essentially what I did. And you can see here, like the one thing this is missing is, well, in fact, all right, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm just going to cheat here and just do this. So let's go into Photoshop. That's my thumbnail that I was working on. Close you. And so essentially we're just going to do we're just going to crop front 4 and side and hop. Okay. So now that we've got that, we're going to hop into here and we'll just do what we just made here. So we'll go, where is it? Or did I put it in here? So front 4, top 4, and side 4. Where's side? Huh? Wait, what? Top 4, front 4. Did I not save it? Did I not do this? I thought I did this. Side. Oh, I did it. Okay. Side 4. Okay, and then. Hello? Okay, we're going the other way. So we want to. It's this side. And now, I don't know. I just leave it at the highest just because I want as much detail as I can. Then now, just to tell you, the resolution ain't going to be great. We're not looking for a final model here. We're just looking for something that we can use as a rough blocking, piece. So we'll just let this cook. And again, we'll just let it go through and I'll show you guys the process. And while that's waiting, I'll show you the interior that I built. So let's see if we go into sets, class interior, and 1950. Okay, that's. It should be 1950B, not 1951. Although now renaming anything in Unreal. Yeah. Okay, this is a mistake. Heaven forbid you rename anything in Unreal. Or move anything. This is what I don't miss about 3D. Okay, I forgot that this was such a nightmare. Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot about this. I would not have done this. This is insane. It's simply renaming something. And boy, I'm gonna finish my beer before this is done. How's our okay, so we're in the texture phase now. Oh my god, thank you. Okay, so here's the room that I built. And okay, what is going on? So you can see we've got like most of this room was built with AI. Like these map rack things, these were built, you know, again, using this process that I'm going through right now where I had Nano Banana generate a front side view. Then I brought that into that tool that I'm using right now, and it generated the model, brought the model into Unreal, and you know, it builds the textures and everything for you. And I even brought the characters in and generated the character models. So I have like a rough blocking thing here that I can use for like, you know, trying to put the camera where I want it to get specific views. And then I can basically, like what people are doing now is using depth maps or, you know, various other different like low resolution versions of images so that you're just feeding the important information to the model, which is basically composition, framing, position of where things are, and you're letting the AI create the rest of it, because theoretically you're giving it what the characters look like. You've already determined that. So you're using these like depth maps or whatever to show the model where these guys are, but then you're not like overriding. Like if you put too much detail in a reference image, it doesn't know which one to use. Do you want this one or do you want that one? And so you're going to get weird things. But if you have very limited detail, like in one of your reference images, and you say put that character here, whatever, there'll be just enough there so that it's like, oh, I see that character is supposed to be Bill, you know, and now but I have the reference for Bill, so I'll use that, you know. If you understand what I'm saying, and you get better results. So generally, you know, like you'll want to do like a render like this, like a gray render or something. I don't know why he's got a line across him. But this is kind of like I built this whole room essentially using that. Like some of this stuff was from model asset packs that I had, but you know, like I essentially used this to generate the room image that I used for the scene, this sequence. So like this is just a ship model. Again, this is made with AI. And you know, just this table with these instruments was made, these barometers and instruments. This was made with AI. Or no, actually, no, I made this in Maya because it was like, it would have taken 3 seconds to do that. This door back here was an AI model. So yeah, like a lot of this table, the compass here, the protractor, all this stuff was AI. These guys were AI, and they just serve as like, you know, little placeholders. All right, so now we've got our model, right? So now we've got our ship. Oh my God, what happened? Did I put the wrong image in somewhere? Front, side, top. Wow, I've never seen that happen. I wonder if it's because of the way this is oriented. Top. I wonder if this top needs to be up and down. I don't know if it matters. No, because the other ones I did weren't. Oh, they were. But this one was. Wait. No, it wasn't. Okay, let me rotate this. Maybe that's what happened. Do we want the top to be at the... I think we want the top to be at the top. So we'll save that. Let's try this again. Now I'm wasting time. Okay, let's try it again. And we're going to pretend that this is already done, okay? We're going to pretend I already did this. So now what you can do with this is you can bring it into Unreal. So we're going to hop into Unreal. And I'm going to open up the scene that I had started to do this in. So where is that? Boy. I don't know where the heck it is. Oh, I found it. This is why you don't do stuff live. This is why you edit. Okay, so let's assume that that model came out great that we just did, and I imported it into Unreal, and here it is. So now you can do stuff like you could set up shots. So here's another version of the model that I generated, and you can see I've got the different pieces like separated. So the Thalassa, which is the ship, I had to generate that separately, and I have the sub separate, and then I actually even did this crane separately. And now I've actually been using this for some of the image generations, which has been kind of working, but there's stuff in this that I don't like. Like I keep getting this weird triangle thing. So like it's kind of working, but also kind of not. But what you can do, like the whole point is like once you're in here, let me just turn this stuff off. In fact, okay, I'm going to duplicate this so that I can just go ahead and delete this, and we're going to put in an HDRI. And come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. We're going to go with a gray. And we're going to go. Let's make this big. Oops. Let's make that even bigger. Okay, let's remove the water line. Yep, get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so the checkerboard is here because I was doing a cinematic, and I wanted, like, really, I was trying to get a video that I could bring in to Seedance to show it, like, the camera move that I was going for, and having the checkerboard there gives you a sense of speed. So I'll show you what I was talking, the whole point of that. If I go into my shot here and we just watch it. So you can see if you're just staring down at like gray, it's hard to tell what's going on, but this gives you a sense of motion now with a checkerboard. And then we come up and we see the Thalassa. So again, this is the type of thing I'm trying to do, is to block out these shots. And you can get these things done and you don't have to model everything, because again, you can be going back and forth with AI and having AI build the pieces you need. So going back to the ship, now this is obviously longer than 15 seconds. What I was hoping to do is block this out and then chunk it up into different pieces, and hopefully be able to get like a nice long continuous take that way. But one of the other things that you can do, which I was kind of doing with this, is let's say you don't like this model, like it feels too short. Like, yeah, you know what? I feel like the back of the ship should be a bit longer. This is the kind of thing I was starting to play. A bit taller. You can see like I've even got these things broken out here. I really want the crane to be a bit taller, and this model, I want this back deck to be a bit bigger. Now the problem is this is in here, this spool. So you could potentially alter your sheet, your reference sheet, to get rid of that spool. And I'll show you why that would be something you might want to do in a second when I get to this next stage. But I just want to see where our model is at here. Let's take a look at our other model here. Okay, that worked. So you can see here, like I built this crane out. Like these are the different pieces that I've been making. Here's the thalassa that I built, or not the Aquaticus, the sub. So this is how I've been basically doing this: is taking those style sheets that you need to generate anyway for your references, and just generating models out of them. You know. So now I've got a model of this thing. So this can help me with, you know, again, once I get the ship the way I want it, this can help me kind of get landmarks for the model when I want to get certain shots. Like for instance, I want this faceplate to be facing the back of the ship because I want Bill to be able to come out this side. So, and you know, towards the ship, not like coming out the back and falling off the back of the boat, right? So I can use this model now to help inform, because if you sometimes when you try and explain to the model, it either doesn't get it or it doesn't listen. But if you can provide it like a reference, you get better results. So that's kind of what this is going to help me with. So this is the model that you're seeing in the Unreal scene. So let's go back to that. And so like, let's say I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is great, but I feel like maybe the back of the boat should be, you know, and the other thing I did too is I put, like, this is a metahuman guy here. He's a little broken, but just to get the scale right, you know, to make sure that I had the scale of everything. And you can see here he is again 2. He's here, and but again, just to show you, like, the whole point of this is it's if you're trying to work on your model, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to get image generations where the back is a bit longer. Okay, well, I'll just generate, you know, I get this model done, and I've already done this a couple times, which is why there's a bit of like a weird, like the back here's a little kind of like strange. So you can just be like, all right, let me just stretch the back out. Now you don't have to remodel it. You know, this is a very dense model. It's 1.5 million polygons, if you remember, but we've got modeling tools. And this is why I was worried, like, oh my God, I got rid of Maya. What am I gonna do? Why did I quit Maya? Maybe I need to re-sign up. No, you don't, because Unreal's got modeling tools. And for the type of changes you're gonna be doing, unless you're, like, you could go in and do a whole retopologizing of this and get like a nice clean model, but why? You don't need to. That's not what we're trying to do here. So you can just do something like, you know, I just want to extend the back, or maybe make part of it a little wider or something. So we're just going to go and do a lattice. Boom. That's all we need. So like, let's say I want the back to be a bit longer, and I don't know, like I said, I've already made these changes, so it might get a little weird to do this, but for the purposes of demonstration. Now you can add more resolution as you need it. So like, let's say we want to just kind of bring this back part back. You know, so there you go. And maybe we want to see, now this is going to be a little weird. What we might want to do instead in that case, if we want to do something like that, is bring 2 points back or add points to our lattice resolution. But this is why I was saying maybe we wanted this as a separate image, because it's going to start to get distorted when we start to like distort the hull. But just to kind of show you, you know, like you could do, these are the types of things you can do very quickly and crudely in Maya. And oh, because I don't have anything selected. You know, so you can start to like make these little changes here like this. And I was doing this and it was working. It just was inconsistent. Like the model would generate certain views with what I was doing, because I did this already, brought it back in as a reference for Nana Banana, and it would like, oh, okay, I see what you mean. But then when it did like a side view, it would do it for like a 3/4 view, but then for the side view it would go back to a normal rounded hull with the railing, you know. So it was like very inconsistent. That's kind of what I was fighting. But this is kind of like the workflow that I've been playing around with. And you can see that this really didn't take that long to do. I mean, I did it in the course of a beer, right? Now, this I already brought in, but you can see that, oh, where did it go? Our other model was there. So if we open it up, so there you go. I don't know what these things are. So like I said, it's a bit weird and you're gonna get weirdness, but that's why like it might make sense to just like, that's why I removed the submarine. And just added that after the fact, because you do get kind of weird stuff. So basically what I did was I generated the ship without the submarine and without the crane, and I added those in after, because it just, those were the two things that were giving me problems, like where the sub was being positioned, how big the crane was, and I figured those are things I'd control in Unreal. So again, just kind of showing you like a workflow that you can go through. And now is this like, this obviously this model's a mess, right? But like I said, the point of this isn't to get a final model that you're going to use. It's just to get something that's a rough approximation to then feed back in. So if we go back to Unreal here, can we turn textures off? So, you know, you just like maybe even turn this off, right? And you just are feeding this back into, why is it on the screen? And you're just feeding this back into the model for use as reference to try and get it closer to what you want. So it understands like, hey, this is what the back looks like, you know. And you can just like, you could even just screenshot, you know, you can just like grab this screenshot and you know, we can go into here and we can say, well, let's do this. Let's just try something. I'm going to put myself on the spot here. So we will try and generate like, see, the problem with this model is it doesn't quite have the spatial like consistency that I really wanted. Like this should, yeah, this is kind of different. Like again, this is an older one, and so I'm not quite using this, but we could kind of like, you know, let's hide him. And again, this is why we might want this thing to be a separate element, because the shot that I want is like, we can't get because this is in the way. So I would want to slide this thing back. So having this as a separate element would allow me to adjust the scene, but we could maybe cheat it up here. Or maybe we do like a reverse. So maybe we come here and let's just see if we can get it. So we're actually going to need a camera here. So let me duplicate this camera and let's take off the animation. Oops. And what is this camera? This is a 16. Let's make it like, let's do a 35. let's just try and get a shot like this. And let's turn off messages. Let's turn all those off. And so I don't know, just as a test, maybe we'll just do something like this, and we'll just screen grab that, and we'll go into come in here, and we'll say, let's take this, and I'll just paste that in. And we'll say use image 2 as the composition for the camera. A reverse shot from, no, it's an above shot. A high shot of the extras, securing the Quadicus. Dylan, no, Dylan's not in the shot. Let's just have that. We don't. Dylan would not be in this shot here. And let's see what we get. Shot of insert shot. Now, what I would probably do is bring this into Claude and have it go over the prompt with me to just give it more detail. But I'm just doing this like fast and dirty right now. Of the Thalassa. Man, let's just see what we get. So again, I'm just going to crank off 4. How annoying is that sound? Because my microphone is clamped to my desk. So anything that hits the desk, the sound goes through the desk, through the mic arm, and into the mic. And I've been meaning to try and figure out a way to change that, to have the mic like mounted to something that sits on the floor. But not today. Not today. Let's see here. We've got, we got 14,000 people viewing right now. That's crazy. Didn't think so many people would be interested in this. It's a lot. So this is basically the workflow. Again, it's like a very crude, I kind of, it was an impromptu thing. I just decided I would do this right before the stream. So had a little bit of hiccups. This is why you edit. This is why when you make demos like this, you edit them. You pre-record them and then you edit them. But this was live. We did it live. How long have we been going here? I lost my window again. An hour. We've been going an hour. I got like 2 sips left. Let's just wait for these images. All right, I'm going to quit Unreal. Not going to save. The music is actually coming along really nice. Like I've got like a really nice feel for the opening, I think. And I'm using the music to guide like my my edit in the shots that I want. And at one of these times, I'm going to go over the music workflow because it's really, I'm getting some really good stuff with the music, and I actually really like the theme song for What Did You See? Let's play a little bit of that. Why not? I closed it. Ugh. Oh, here we go. Okay, well, that did like the reverse shot of what I said. It's like from the other side. This is okay. So one of the problems is, oof, maybe I needed to put the guys in there. I mean, this is like, again, this is like we have a. I don't even know what's going on here. What? Why? What? How did these both come out the same? What was this prompt? Securing the Aquaticus. Okay. Maybe my prompt just sucks. So let's say high shot of the stern deck of the Thalassa. A single man. Is a able I shouldn't really have to do this. Oh, I wonder if that's causing issues. I don't think it should be, though. Well, we got kind of the right angle here. You can see, like, this is kind of the right angle. It just doesn't know how big people are in comparison to it. And so, like, I need a scale reference here. This basically gave me what I wanted. Like, this is essentially this shot. It's a little low. You know, it's not exact. I could say match image 2 exactly. All right. Normally I'll take the last sip and I'm done, but we'll just wait for these renders to finish. All right, I'll wait. So anyway, but this is the general workflow that I've been playing with, you know, kind of going back and forth. And I think that I just have to kind of figure out the best way of doing this, because like I said, there's basically what people are doing is essentially what I'm doing. They're just doing it a little bit differently, where they're using depth maps, and maybe I should try doing that, is convert my image like into a depth map. But again, some of the problems are also like scale reference. It like the model doesn't understand what this is, or like how big a person is to it. You know, it thinks like this is just basically a scale problem right now. And so maybe like in my Thalassa or in my Aquaticus, this does give a scale reference here. I wonder if that's causing problems. Maybe I should take that off. Or actually what I should probably do is actually write on here, use for scale reference, use for human, use for scale reference. And again, I cannot stress how important it is to have unlimited image generations, because you can see here, like, if I was paying credits for each one of these generations, I'd be done. Like, my credits would be gone. As it is, I can only generate like 10 videos with my monthly credits, like 10 videos at, on Cdance, because Cdance is crazy expensive. So you definitely don't want to be blowing your credits on image generations. All right, this is starting to drag. I think I might just call it. You can basically, but my point was to just kind of walk you through the workflow here. Okay, here we go. So, okay, this is better. Again, we have a scale problem, but we're kind of like, we're in that ballpark, right? We just have a scale problem. This is not close at all. But again, we have a scale problem. This is something, this one's way off. It maybe is because I had this image in here. Actually, it probably is. I probably should take that off. Let me just try one more. But we're kind of getting, like, it's kind of giving me what I want. It's not exact though. And again, this could be my prompt. It also could be that, the model that I generated is not quite the same as the lasso reference I'm giving it, because I have made changes to it. Like, it's a little shorter. Like, you can see this is much shorter. That might be actually what's throwing it off. Like, this is much shorter than what's being seen here, right? That's a problem. Like, that's where the model's like, I don't know what the hell you want me to do with this, because these things don't match. But you can see here how I gave, like, I tried to give scale indications. Again, this is part of the problem of doing this, is trying to figure out how to get around these problems or how to solve these problems when they come up. Because this scale thing's obviously pretty consistent here. Like, in every single one of these images, we've got a scale problem. So that's not, actually wait, is this the one? That one doesn't look too bad. Huh. This looks proper. I don't know. But this is this is frustration with AI, is this, like, randomness that you get in trying to figure out, like, I don't know why it's doing this. Like, why is it doing this? Is it, what do I need to do to fix it? It's kind of an odd way to work. Whereas, like, you have the same types of problems with 3D where something doesn't work and you might not know why. Like, I don't know why this isn't working, and you have to try and debug it. But there's usually a definite reason why it's not working. But with AI, it could just be, just generate it 3 more times and you'll get it. Although that happens with Unreal 2 or 3D. Yeah, just like restart and it'll be fine. Yeah, maybe it's not working. I don't know why it's not working. Just close and restart. You know, I mean, like in some ways this stuff is like all just, it's the same, you know, it's all got the same bull crap that you're dealing with. What are you doing to me? All right, I don't think I'm gonna wait for this. I just wanted to kind of, okay, we got it. Okay, so this is closer, but again, so I think basically the issue is that my reference image, the scale is very different. Like this is actually too big for like, I think that's the problem. But when I removed that other image, we got closer. So this is, you know, and again, like we've got a lot of distortion on this. This is why I was saying like it might have been a good idea to just knock this thing out of the model and then put it back in. It's just a cylinder, you know. But that's not far off. That's like, it's not exact, but that's like the general idea. And again, we've still got some scale issues. Like this feels a little small still, but you know, like I said, sometimes with this AI stuff, it's just a matter of, you know, another 2 or 3 generations. But we've got the basic camera direction. I didn't have to tell it where the camera was. I just had used that image, and it got like, it got pretty close. Again, I think given the fact that my references are not they're not lining up, I think it's just trying to do the best it can. Like this one looks like it came the closest. That actually doesn't look too bad. This one's like trying to stay faithful to the camera angle and to the scale, which this actually is a great, this one came out pretty good. Yeah, I think this one actually works. Yeah, we got a winner with this one, I think. So anyway, that's the workflow. That's like the AI to 3D to AI workflow kind of thing that I've been playing around with. And it's a little rough, obviously, but pretty much everything with AI right now is a little rough. You know, like I said, my next thing is I'm going to try like an unlimited day of generations and just see how far I can get just by like, you know, run, and just keep hitting that generation button where I'm not worrying about credits. Just like hit it as many times as I can through the course of 24 hours. And, you know, I want to try and have like a bunch of shots lined up in case I start to make progress. You know, I don't want to like, oh God, now I don't know what to do. So that's going to be for next week. I was going to try and I was trying to figure out like when I should buy that day's worth of credits, because I want to make sure I have like enough time to be able to get the most out of it. I don't want to be wasting money. So it's like, okay, probably like, I guess Monday morning I'll get up and then just, you know, or over the weekend I'll try and get like some images queued up for start frames, and then, you know, some prompts queued up, and then just run. And as I'm running, as they're going, I'll have my edit open. I'll be dropping them into the edit, you know, seeing how it works, making adjustments, run, you know. And well, I can only run one at a time, so I'll just be like run, you know, playing around with the edit, see how we get. Okay, change prompt, alter the prompt, run it again, and just do that for a whole day. So anyway, but yeah, a lot of things trying to figure out with this. It's I mean, you know, I'm able to do things I never could have done in Unreal, but I don't think that the 3D workflow in Unreal and all that stuff, I don't think it's useless. I think it's still I think it still has a part to play in this, and I think that ultimately what you want to be able to do is combine them both to maintain the control, and then have AI do like, you know, just create this image out of this, you know. So anyway, that's gonna do it. I'm just kind of rambling now, and let's finish up this beer and we'll end weekend happy hour, and we'll head into the weekend. All right. There you go. I hope everybody has a great weekend. That was weird. Huh. Anyway, hope everybody has a great weekend. And, that's the wrong screen. That is the wrong screen. That's what it should say. All right, everyone, I'm going to play some What Did You See music while we head into the weekend. If I can find it. If I can find it. All right, everybody, take it easy. Click the wrong button.